Good morning, traders. I will try to keep it short this morning. We'll see how it plays out here. Uh, I went up to the monthly webs on my time frame here, and this gives you a breakdown of how the volume profile has been building out for the month of September. We got clearly a division, a break in the middle of our volume profile. Once we got above, I don't know, 6610. We clearly have a break in uh, the value in this month of volume profile. Okay. Uh, so, with that being said, also right up here, our current point of control is 6680. Okay. So that's a major uh, supporting area for this ESs right now. 6680 is our major. So that's basically above that. The edge is slightly to the bulls, saying that the average inventory for the entire month of September, we're on the bullish side of that inventory on the monthly time frame, 6680. Okay. Uh, and if you come over here on the other chart, right here at 6686, that is our uh, central pivot for last week. 6686 is our central pivot from last week. Okay, so the value built out and eventually accepted above that from last week. And we defended that yesterday. So there's two things here that we defended yesterday. Basically, what we are currently trading on the slightly more bullish side of our monthly inventory. So it's important to note that going forward. Okay. If you go down on the 1 hour here on our profile, this will give us our on volume profile here. Okay. And as you can see here on the weekly time frame, our point of control has changed just a little bit. Okay. This was built out from last week. Okay. And so even though the monthly has built out up here, okay, we have a very important area here around the 6680 area. Uh, our weekly from last week actually built out a little bit lower than that. So you have a little bit of a divergence there in the different time frames and where value really is between the two. So be mindful of that. Okay. And So we managed to come down, reset the oscillators. We know we've been in a massive bull market. So this could have just been a pullback in time, and we're setting up to go higher now. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out here. Uh, Currently, about below 6,700 is on the weekly time frame is a little bit more suspect. Uh, Below 6,700 is a little more, but that's also where our current VWAP is located. So it wouldn't take much, in my opinion, to get us to accept prices over 6,700. So be very mindful of that. Okay. But like I said, you see this bell curve right here from last week, and 6,700 is like the divining rod on that inventory from last week uh, for looking for price discovery to the upside. Okay, guys. So there you go. So bottom line is going into the open here. Um, if they cannot regain 6,700, then I'm looking to the bearish side. Otherwise, once we start clearing 6,700, then I'm going to be full on looking to the bullish side personally. Okay. It's a little bit more suspect here on the Nasdaq, in my opinion. Um, we don't technically have a bell curve. You see how it is chopped off, maybe suggesting that the auction has not completed on the monthly time frame to the upside. So that's one takeaway for the bulls here going forward. It does look like we might be opening below a major volume profile area. Uh, so so we have to be mindful of that. I would suspect that 64,840. Below 64,840 now is a little bit difficult for the Nasdaq. A little bit more bearish, 64,840. So be mindful of that. We are on the bullish side on the week inventory as we're holding above our central pivot. Okay, we're right back in the VWAP. Okay, which could very well mean that we're preparing to rotate above. We do have data coming out today. Let's see how price action reacts to that data. Ooh. Excuse me. Okay, guys. So we do have on the volume profile on the monthly a double distribution, okay, with a big gap in the middle for the month of September. Okay, so be mindful of that. Go down on the 1 hour here on the volume profile. This is from last week. We have a double distribution from last week, which the main one being around 24,522. So we do have a double distribution. We're currently trading right at that last week's high volume right there. Value area high from last week as well. Okay, so going to be really important to see how price is accepted from here going into today's session. Okay, so be very mindful of that. It's going to be very important to see what's going on here. And we are below our call walls, both on the S&Ps, Russell, and the NASDAQ. So currently trading below our weekly call walls. So, for weeks and weeks and weeks, we've been breaking out and pushing above our call walls. And so far this week, we're not doing that. So let's keep that in the back of our mind as well. Okay. And we bounced right where we should have bounced here yesterday. So be mindful of that as well. They came in, found buyers right where they needed to find the buyers yesterday. So, we have to be mindful of that as well. So this here could be an exhaustion high. We don't know yet, and we're setting up for the next leg lower. Basically, the measurement of that measurement right there, that would suggest we would be coming down into this area down here if this would play out. If this is a head and shoulders, we break down, that suggests a move down here into the 24,500s, possibly here. If that pattern were to manifest itself. Okay. The Russell's a little bit interesting here, guys. We're currently pushing below our week-on-week central pivot. A little bit more bearish here on the Russell. Okay. We are holding our critical moving average. We've been walking this trend up. We're currently holding above that. And we are holding this very critical bell curve low here. You can really tell there it's a 64.48. Come over here, 64.48. So a very critical. Got a little low volume node below us here, below that 64.48 that they held yesterday. Okay. So we're not in deep trouble here. We're just below the call wall. A little bit more bearish currently here on the Russell. And firmly inside of last week's value. So that's important to note as well. Anything else I could say about it? Kind of looks like a little inverse head and shoulders here that's playing out. So that's a lookout for, guys. Possible inverse head and shoulders playing out right here. Or a head and shoulders, not inverse. possible. And there is a potential bigger head and shoulders here as well. Let's check this out. If that is now the new neckline, that would suggest a completion of this pattern down to the downside. We do have an untested point of control down here. Those tend to be a magnet, 2380. So that might be what is manifesting here. So let's keep an eye on that, 2380. Uh, a potential what they're trying to do here. Let's see how this plays out. It's kind of interesting that the 50% fib is, in 38.2. It's right here into this last week's point of control, suggesting that this might be an exhaustion push right into the middle of the, that kind of looks like this might be an exhaustion push based on the fibs currently the fibs. Okay, so definitely keep that on watch here. Our ZNs this morning have a little bit of bids, so we're not in a lot of jeopardy at the moment here on our ZNs. Check the dollar. The dollar looks like it's continuing to have some upside pressure here on the dollar. That's depressive on the commodities. That's a good thing on the depressing the commodities, a stronger dollar. Okay, guys, one of our strong movers this morning. That's Tesla again. We're going into the October 1st deadline on the EV credits. So be careful here, guys. We're getting near the end of the month. We don't know how long this rally can last. Hey guys, I'm looking at Tesla here, and it looks like we're currently doing a back test of VWAP. If this were to hold, the pattern looks to me like it is trying to push to 460. So I would be much more inclined to be a bull in Tesla today than a bear. So let's see how it plays out. So guys, we have U.S. jobless claims coming out at 8:30 and U.S. GDP. So that's going to be important going into today's session. And we know the data has been weakening, so it's going to be important to see how this all plays out. Okay, so we may be moving into the situation where bad news is bad news again. So we don't know if that's going to be the case. But right now, like I said, nothing on the bullish trend has changed. It's just been a pullback in time. So be very mindful of that in today's session. And my final thought here, guys, we had a clear deterioration in the internals yesterday. So let's definitely keep an eye on that. Okay. These internals, they really gave us a very good indication of the bearishness setting up in yesterday's session. Right out of the gate, it was a lot worse than the prior day and deteriorating. And but now that we've come down into what a potential support area, now we got to see how prices impacted from here. So let's definitely keep that in the back of our minds here. Um, so we're coming off of, they have managed to reset the oscillators. Maybe that's all they wanted to do before they started pushing us higher again. Not for sure here. The easy setup was yesterday. I mean, it was just a beautiful short setup. It played out perfectly in yesterday's session. Now today it's going to be a lot more difficult. I would actually be looking, right here in the back of my mind, at least starting off the day more mixed on our score than what we'd had yesterday. So I would be looking for more like a score similar to this and more flattish internals than what we saw yesterday. But we never know when that GDP comes out and stuff. It could be just uh, a big directional day. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Thanks a lot.